Today, we are going to be talking about shame in the soul contract. And this really came to me very intuitively on a walk this morning because shame is the biggest squatting energy that holds us back in our life. And each number in the soul contract system has a slightly different theme of shame around it. And in this video, I'm going to dive into each of those numbers to pinpoint the exact shame experience that this number often experiences if it's in your chart. If you're new here, my name is Antonia and I love to help people uncover the energies and a deeper understanding and awareness that are flowing through their life, through their soul contract, and then working through those challenges with targeted healing so they can come into a more expanded, grounded and embodied version of who they are. And part of this is coming into great self-compassion and a much greater sense of confidence. So knowing and owning who you are. I share lots of videos about the soul contract numbers and other types of healing that I offer that is very related to the particular challenges in the soul contract. So if you want to take a look, I put all the links below. If you don't know the numbers in your chart, again, the link is below for you to generate that for free. And we're just going to dive straight on in. So we're going to go through all 22 numbers. So the numbers go from 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, all the way up to 22, 4. It's just the way they're designed. So if you've got your chart in front of you, then you can see what numbers you have. Now, what I will say is everyone's experience will be vastly different depending on the location of the number. Whether it's sitting in your karma, it's going to feel a lot more challenging. The shame might feel a lot stronger. If it's in your talents, it may not be as resonant, but if it's in your goals, you may feel a little bit of it. And if it's in your soul destiny, then you definitely will. That being said, everyone has a vastly different life experience made up of past lives, cultural upbringing, programming, other lives, other dimensions, other realities. So even if you have the exact same numbers as someone else, your experience of those numbers is going to be different. So if you don't resonate with some of this, that's normal and that's okay. If you do resonate, then hopefully this is going to be really, really helpful for you on your journey forwards. So we're going to start with the 1-1 energy. Now the 1-1 is all about integrity and living in alignment with your core values. It's a very strong spiritual energy. So there may be a shame around not acting in integrity, not quite doing things, saying things, actioning things that come from the true integrity within you. And you know it can feel a little bit shameful when you're like, oh, I probably shouldn't have done that, or that wasn't really true to me. That is the shame that can often surround the 1-1. And with this, you are here to move through it and come into the strong spiritual energies that have been given to you and to step out of that shame. Now, the 2-2 energy is all about overcoming foolishness and impulsivity and coming into balance. So the shame for a 2 energy may be around making the same mistake over and over and over. Why do I keep doing the same thing? Why do I never learn from my mistakes? Why do I keep dating that same person, falling into those same traps? Or whatever it is. But just know if you have the 2 energy, you're here to move through the shame of that, to come out the other side and recognize the great amount of wisdom within you that does come through when you really embody this number. Now, the 3-3 energy, the shame can be around not feeling good enough. And I have this energy. It's an unworthiness. I don't deserve. I shouldn't have. I'm not good enough to. And the 3s are here to learn that they are worthy. They can do it. They deserve to do it. They deserve to have it. So it's coming from a place of unworthiness and the shame around that into pure worth. Again, a similar number, the 4-4, is also about coming out of the shame of feeling unworthy, but in the eyes of God. So the 3s are about feeling unworthy for what, not being good enough for what we do. 4s can feel a shame around not feeling worthy in the eyes of the universe, the eyes of God, the eyes of Source. And the 4s are here to move through that shame, come out to the other side where they feel unconditionally loved and supported by God and in full trust that they are not only worthy, but just unconditionally loved. Now, the 5/5s can feel a shame around not being able to assert themselves and speak up. The 5s are all about the truth. It's very important for them to speak it. But the biggest challenge and the shame that surrounds that challenge is 5s often I wish I'd spoken up. I wish I'd said something. I wish I could be able to speak up and say my mind. And they feel a great shame for not being able to do that. But that is part of the journey of the 5s. You're here to learn how to safely speak up and feel safe and empowered in doing that. And it will happen. I've got 5s. It will happen. Okay, the 6/6 energy. The 6/6s can get very rigid and locked in and very focused. It has to be done that way. And so there can be a shame when the 6s can't get it done. And they'll go into a state of procrastination, or they'll try and do it and they'll get, I've got to do it. And they can't do it. And the shame comes from, why can't I finish that? Why can't I get it done? Whether it's a project or a task or anything else. And if you have a 6, you are here to spiritually connect and spiritually create. It flows through you. And it's just the ego that gets stuck in the frustration and the anger. And you will be able to move through that once you really connect to source. The 7s are a master number and their shame is pretty deep. I've got lots of 7s in my chart. The 7s at their core can feel a deep shame about not being a good person, being a terrible person, being not unworthy. It's almost like I am just not good at my core. I think a lot of this is past worth stuff. We've all played many lifetimes of being the perpetrator, many more lifetimes of being the victim, before we move into the final incarnations of being the healer or the sage or the mystic, which comes, those are separate stages. Most of us are still in the victim stage, and the 7s are here to learn and remember that they are not terrible. And this is a very deep one, so if you don't resonate with that, that is okay. They're here to learn to take down their mask and reveal themselves for who they are without the shame that accompanies them. That's the journey of the 7s. Now, the 8s may have 2 different types of shame, and because I have them in my karma, is quite a strong one for me. The 8s can feel a shame around not being able to emotionally connect with people. But sometimes the 8s can be really good at emotionally connecting with people. The other type of shame they might have is, why can't I settle? Why can't I stay there? Why can't I commit? Why can't I do that thing? The 8s are really here to not only emotionally connect with themselves and the world around them, the people, but they are here to ground and settle down on earth. And that can feel really challenging for the 8s. The 9s are very strong, very powerful. And the 9s can feel shame around their abuse. And the abuse comes from the disempowerment that they may have experienced when they were younger. And I'm talking about lots of different kinds of abuse, emotional, physical, disempowerment at its core. And the 9s are here to come out of the shame of that disempowerment and into their power. It's a very strong one, especially if you have 9s in karma. The 10-1s can be real perfectionists. It's a Virgo energy. The 10-1s are here to let go of perfectionism and the shame around, I just can't get it done perfectly. I just can't get it done the way I want it to be done, to my high expectations. They're here to let go of that shame and move into much greater self-compassion. Let go of the criticism and the shame around that and move into a softer, compassionate relationship with themselves. Now, the 11-2s, we're getting into the double numbers, what we did with the 10-1. The 11-2s can sometimes struggle, particularly the 11, with, I just can't get it. The 11-2s can be really quick learners or really slow learners. They have their own way of assimilating information that isn't always the normal way. And so they can really feel a shame around, I'm not smart, I don't get it, why can't I get it? And with an 11 energy, with the 11-2, you're really here to create your own structure, do it your own way. You're not always going to fit into the models. You're here to create your own model of doing things. It's a really beautiful journey out of that shame. Now, the 12-3, I've got 12-3s. The 12-3 shame is, I can't get it all done. They're so expansive, the 12 energy in particular, and the 12 threes can feel great shame that I just don't have the energy to do it all. This is the burnout number. I just wish I could do more. I want to be able to do more. I should do more. It's very, very urgent energy that comes in with this number. And that can be great shame around not having the capacity to be able to deliver and do it. And the 12 threes are here to learn that they are supposed to expand in balance. They're not supposed to do all the time. They have to have a balanced expansion. And then that shame just dissolves when they know that that's the way they're meant to do it. All the programming, by the way, of these soul contract numbers can feel very strong, depending on where it is in your chart. If you have one or two or more of the same numbers in particular, that's your soul being like, oh my God, this person, this soul in this lifetime is going to really knuckle down on those numbers. And can feel really challenging. Okay, so let's go on to the 13-4. It's a bit of an interesting one. I don't have this number, so I can't resonate with it on as deep a level as others. The 13-4 is about softening into the feminine, and sometimes there can be a shame with the 13-4 energy of, I'm not in my feminine, or I'm not able to be soft and nurturing, or I'm not able to have that relationship with my mum or females or other women. And this is, again, a much broader interpretation of the number. Many people who have this number are so loving and so connected to their feminine. This can be one of the challenges and the shame around it. And the 13-4s are very much here to soften into love. It's a very powerful number, the 13. They're here to soften into their hearts. The 14-5, and I knew I had forgotten a number, so I've had to sneak this one in there and just edit it in. The 14-5 is all about intensity, especially the 14, and there can be a shame around, why is life so intense? Why are my relationships so intense? Why is nothing easy or gentle or soft? And again, it's that feeling of, it must be me, it must be me. Well, the journey of a 14 in particular, the 14-5, is that you are here to be a multidimensional mirror for others, and for others to be a multidimensional mirror for yourself. And what this means is relationships with people are the way you understand and know who you are. And so, of course, the soul wants to have experience after experience, relationship after relationship, to uncover the truth of who you are. It's a very, I've got to find out, and I only find out through relationships. To move out of this shame of just this constant cycling through people and the intensity around relationships, you were here to slow down and have some time on your own. It's really that simple. You were here to uncover and understand who you are, the spiritual nature of who you are, through alone time, to be reflective with yourself. Otherwise, it can get quite burnouty, a bit like that 12-3. And the 15-6. 15-6s can feel a shame around going around in circles and not being able to find the thing. 15s often are always seeking. And it's quite tiring. They're always trying to look for something, and the shame can be, why can't I find it? Why can't I get it? Why does everyone else find their thing? Why can't I find my thing, the thing that I need, that I want? Often it's purpose. And really, the 15-6 lesson to move through that shame is you've got to go inwards. It is an inwards journey for you, 15. You've got to go in and you've got to sit with it, and the answers come inside out, not outside in. So the 16-7, again, a little bit of a tricky one to identify the shame in this one. I think for a 16, there can be a lot of self-judgment, especially around connecting spiritually, which is so ironic because the 16-7 is quite literally here to translate spiritual energies and bring them down to the earth plane in a more accessible and understandable format for people to understand. It's like grounding spirit down onto earth and translating spirit into, a form that people understand. But initially that can feel really hard, and that can feel, there can be a shame around. I can't get it. I can't connect. I don't believe it's real. I can't see it. It's not tangible. And there can be great shame around that. Moving on to the final numbers that we have on our list. So the 17-8 is around soul suppression. And if you have a 17/8, especially in your karma or your soul destiny, you may have experienced emotional and soul suppression by your parents, your environment, your surroundings. And there can be great shame that you have not been able to bring yourself up and through into the world and use your voice and express who you truly are through fear and through the shame. So the 17/8s are here to move through that shame and realize that they are a soul having a human experience within a conscious personality, and you are here to express yourself. And as you do that, you start to again dissolve and dissolve the shame that is attached to not being able to express yourself. The 18/9 is a super interesting energy, and often I find with these people, I don't see this number very often, there can be shame around not finishing things and not being able to make decisions. So a good example is I know someone with this number who just couldn't decide what career she wanted to do. And so she had 3 different options. She was like, I want to do a little bit of everything, but I can't. And the shame was, why can't I decide? Why can't I make a decision? Why can't I finish things? And the 18/9 is here to follow spirit. That's it. You're here to follow spirit in this lifetime. And so choosing the paths that are in alignment with spirit, where it's nudging you to go, and to come out of that state of not being able to finish and procrastination into this is it and I'm following it. It's the 18/9. The 19/1 is interesting. This can be around not being able to laugh and feel joy in your experience. And the 19/1 can be very judgmental of themselves and quite critical. And the shame is like, why is life so serious? Why am I taking this so seriously? Why do other people get to have such a lighter experience in their lifetime? Why does it feel so heavy for me? And often when we look at things like that, it reflects back on us and we think, I must have done something wrong. I must have done something to deserve this experience. And we're going to pick a number which is definitely around that in a moment. And the 19/1 to move through that shame is all about, you're not here to take life so seriously. We are literally playing a game called life. And if you haven't read Florence Scovel Shinn's book, The Game of Life and How to Play It, I really recommend it because it's short and it's punchy and it tells you everything you need to know about life. I'll put it in a bit below. The 22, interesting number again. I mean, all the end ones I find quite unique. The 22s can feel ashamed of, there's 2 parts to this. They either feel ashamed of not quite fitting in with their family and their culture because they're here to move through and past it. They are explorers, spiritual explorers, and they're here to go beyond where they grew up and come up and out of it and go past where they've come from. And there can be a shame of like, well, why don't I fit into that life that I came from? You're not here to fit into it, 22s. You're here to be a spiritual explorer and bounder into the potential and possibilities of life. What's more with the 22 is there can be a lot of conflict within yourself or with other people if it comes out externally, and there can be shame around, why am I always in conflict? Why is there always arguments and disagreements and difficulties of my life? Is it me? No, the 20 energy is you're here to come to peace with yourself. And as you come to peace and heal the tensions and conflicts and fractures within, your outer reality morphs to reflect your inner reality, which is peaceful. Okay, the 21/3. This is the, what did I do to deserve this? The 21 energy is all about deep challenge, hardship, struggle. I'm sorry, it's one of the hardest numbers to have in a soul contract. And it can make life really challenging, like challenge after challenge after challenge. And the shame can be around, oh my God, I must have done something to deserve this. Because it goes with the 3, which is the unworthiness. I'm not good enough. Self-blame. I'm a failure. So the 21/3, know this, you have not done anything. This is a very, very challenging number and your soul chose it for you to transmute it. And coming through this number is great strength, great endurance. And you really know what you're made of with this number. And it's one of the most potent energies to have, and only seriously, I would say, experienced souls take this challenge on. So if you're one of them, you just got to keep getting through the obstacles and you will get through them. You've done nothing wrong. This was just the way that your soul wanted it. And so the final number, and I hope I haven't missed any out. I didn't really chat before I did this. The 22-4. Now this, with the 21-3, this is the final number in the soul contract system. It's about completion. It's about connection. It's about everything coming together and the realization that you are soul, self, and source. And often the challenge with the 22-4 and the shame around it is I'm not beautiful. Deceptively simple. I'm not beautiful on the inside. I'm not beautiful on the outside. And this is a very hard challenge, and a deep shame around this can be very present. A shame of who we are externally and who we are internally. And what you're supposed to do with this 22-4 energy, what you're here to do, not supposed to, what you're here to do is to move through it and recognize your divine beauty within and without, and to recognize yourself as a multi-dimensional master of your reality, which is what you are 22-4. It's what I am. It's what all of you are watching this. We are all multi-dimensional masters of our reality. We just came down to earth to play the game of separation, and we bloody forgot. We literally forgot. We went to sleep as soon as we came here. In agreement with this process, we went straight to sleep, and we have a soul contract in order to help us work through the challenges and ascend back to the truth of who we are. The truth is we are God. We are God having a human experience, and we have these challenges and these energies and these experiences to help us remember and awaken. And if you're very, very serious about this awakening journey, I'm going to put a link below for light body sessions. And I really encourage you, if this word ding, 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 dings in your head is, whoa, what is that? I need to find out more, is to take a look at that, because that is not about healing. This is a series of sessions to help you remember and awaken and embody your true mastery. So that's it. This is a really long video, but there was a lot to cover. I hope it makes sense. I hope it's helpful in some way. And one thing to say is, as we transmute the shame, once we move through the squatting goblin, it's almost like we can come into a higher level of consciousness where we see things with far greater perspective, and life feels a lot easier. And if you need any help with transmuting that shame, then reach out to me, because this is the work that I'm passionate about. This is the work that I love, and it would be my honor to assist you in that process. And until next time, I wish you a very beautiful rest of your day.